5 we have covered. Now let us go to step number 6. So what we technically call it as cost of control. Cost of what? Control.
Control.
So you should be very careful here in this step. So this step is your heart of the story for the your consolidated problem. So what is step number? Step number is 6.
6.
Step number 6, cost of control. So step number 6, cost of control. Cost of what?
Control.
So that means you have acquired the shares, means for that you have incurred the cost or not. That's the investments. Yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
that cost. So whether how much is that? So here, my difference, this cost of control, I'm going to analyze in 2 routes. I'm going to analyze in how many route?
2 routes.
So one is Pramod, liability route. Liability route. That means in a balance sheet we have the 2 routes, correct? One is liability route and another one is asset.
Asset route.
Got it up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is alternate one. Usually in the majority of the cases we are going to use alternate one only in a problem. Yeah. So where asset route information is available, then we will go with alternative to asset route. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, so in this case, Pramod, it is nothing but suppose if you have the balance sheet. Just imagine balance sheet if it is there. In a balance sheet you have, so that is capital, reserves and surplus, then outside liabilities. Correct? Outside liabilities. It includes liabilities and provisions. So here assets. So that's a non-current asset and current assets. In total, it is a total assets. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, if I'm not wrong, Pramod, total assets, non-current assets, yeah, up to this, what we call this as, this is called as net assets.
Yes, sir. Yes,
This
sir.
is what we call it as net assets. Correct? That
Yes,
is what
sir.
net worth or net assets in asset route. So this is asset route. So that means whatever net assets you get, Pramod, so this net assets belongs to that is equity shareholders as well as that is holding company. Here net assets belongs to shareholders.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, shareholders here is of 2 types. One is holding company as well as outsiders. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So holding companies, so we can take, so that is holding companies net assets. Anyway, they are giving the purchase consideration. Therefore, I will take purchase consideration is the fair value of net assets take. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So for non-controlling interest, so for them, if I go with asset route, so there should be, suppose if a fair value of their non-controlling interest, if it is given, I will take. Otherwise, for net assets, that's identifiable net assets, how much we have identified for that. If it is a 20%, suppose non-current interest is 20%, means out of identifiable net asset, 20% belongs to non-controlling interest, balance 80% only belongs to holding company or not.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So therefore, non-controlling interest should be valued at either fair value of non-controlling interest or proportionate share of net assets or not. Proportionate share of net assets.
Yes.
Are you understanding? Yeah. So example, so 20% NCI means 80% is holding company. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in a problem, suppose if it's clearly given, so purchase consideration, that is for 80%, they have paid so much money. That means that is a 80% of net assets, they have given so much of purchase consideration. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So that you have to compare net assets, what they have taken, and purchase consideration. If purchase consideration over net assets, it will be resulted in goodwill or capital reserve.
Yes, sir.
Purchase consideration over net assets, it's a goodwill. If it is net assets over purchase consideration, it will result in capital reserve. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here, my difference, whenever you go for, that's a purchase, goodwill or capital reserve will be for holding companies proportion only. But for valuation, you have to take 100% or not. That means whatever you have given purchase consideration is for 80%, means 20% is NCI. You have to add total should be 100%. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now for 80% what net assets you have taken, for that, suppose if you know what is the value, suppose if they have given 20% fair value of NCI is given, for example 30 rupees they have given. So here for 80% you have paid purchase considerations, for example let us say 90 rupees you have paid. 90 rupees you have paid. That means what is the total worth of the company fair value? 120 na?
120.
120. So out of that, imagine net identifiable asset, total total companies identifiable assets. Identifiable asset is, for example, 100 rupee means balance 20 is goodwill or not?
Yes, sir.
Balance 20 is goodwill. Correct? In the next case, so fair value is not given. Fair value is not given, but they have given identifiable net asset is 100. Company's total identifiable asset is 100. Out of that, 80% of the net asset was sold for 90 rupees. Got it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So proportionate of net assets, look out this, you have to take. Fair value is not given. If that is the case, I have to take 100 rupees. 100 rupees the total net assets, identifiable net assets, into 20% is NCI. Therefore 20 rupees is what? Proportionate share of net assets of NCI, non-controlling interest. Got it? Out of that, purchase consideration is 90 plus 20, total 110. So out of that, identifiable net assets 100. If I remove, balance 10 rupees is your goodwill or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct? So now, if both fair values are available, that is, acquiring company anyway, purchase consideration itself will be called as fair value, and for non-controlling interest separately fair value is available, then that fair value I will compare. Both fair values are there, therefore 100% fair value is available, and the fair value of net assets available, that also I can compare. Therefore, if I compute goodwill when NCI is valued at fair value, this model is called as full value of goodwill. Value of goodwill,
Goodwill.
because both are fair value completely we have taken. But here, since fair value is not available, so proportionate share of net assets I have taken, which is not fair value. Correct?
Sir.
Which is not fair value. Therefore here it is called as partial goodwill. Here it is called as what?
Partial
Partial
goodwill.
goodwill if it is goes to net asset, that is asset route. Suppose if I go with liability route, if I go with this is liability route. So here only share in capital and reserves and surplus or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct? So this is what two routes are there. This is what we are going to discuss in now. Shall we move on?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let us come to our original discussion. So liability route, it is very simple, my dear friends. So first is, so cost of investments. So first is, here I am talking about liability route in case of first one here, A, investment in equity shares. Investment in what? Equity shares. So if it is investment in equity shares, I have two routes. One is asset route, another one is liability route. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So investment in preference share, that is just a normal one route only. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now investment in equity shares. So cost of investment. So investment in equity share means which companies are holding company na? Doubt will come or not for Pramod?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Which
Sir, why
company?
we?
Yeah. So this cost of control is for holding company.
For holding company.
Correct? Holding company is analyzing, I have invested in subsidiary means in equity share I have purchased so much means whether it is how much cost I have incurred, whether it's a goodwill or capital reserve on acquisition. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
investment in equity shares means it is holding company's investment in subsidiary company. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So cost of investment you have to take. How much is cost of investment? Out of that, Pramod, have you come across in your Ind AS 40? Sorry, Ind AS investments, no? So investments. So we have in financial instruments. So this and all. In a revenue, Ind AS 115, you would have taken that. Suppose if there is a pre-acquisition dividend, we have to reduce from cost of investment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So therefore, so less pre-acquisition pre-acquisition dividend. Pre-acquisition dividend, if you reduce, so what you get is net cost of acquisition, net cost
Yes,
of
acquisition.
net cost of acquisition, correct? Out of that, my dear friend, you have to go for less share of net assets. So here liability root less share of net assets. That net assets is here liability root. In liability root, what will come? Share capital and reserves and surplus. Share in equity, share capital, then capital profit. So this you have to take from Pramod. Step number 4. From where you have to take?
Step 4.
Step 4. So this is what your share of capital plus reserves and surplus in subsidiary company. So that if you deduct, what you get is called as that. Yeah, if you get positive, if you get after deduction, if you get positive, it is called as goodwill. If you get positive, it is called as what?
Goodwill.
If you get negative, it is called as capital reserve, but here in after we call it as gain on bargain purchase, which is nothing but capital reserve. Are you understanding? Yeah. So it is nothing but negative. If you get negative, it is gain on bargain purchase. If you get positive, it is called as goodwill. Are you understanding slowly? Yeah. Friends, are you
Yes,
understanding
sir.
slowly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in case of liability root, how you will assess cost of control? First is
Cost of
investment in, suppose, equity share. Suppose if you have investment in equity share, then only subsidiary, holding subsidiary will emerge. No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Correct. So therefore, first we will attack investment in equity shares. So if I investment, what is the cost I incurred to purchase those shares? That is what cost of investment minus pre-acquisition dividend. Then you get net cost of investment. Out of that, less share of share of assets. So what we get net assets. So that is share in share capital plus capital profit. Revenue profit will go to step number 8 because that's a post-acquisition profit. It is expected profit. Therefore, it's a revenue. It will go to step number 8. So only pre-acquisition profit share what I get. That is what capital profit we will take here. And that we will deduct. So now if I deduct from net cost of investment, if I deduct share of net assets, if still positive, that means still shortfall is there, then it is treated as goodwill acquisition cost. And if it is more than that, if it is there, if it is negative is there, then it is called as what? Gain on bargain purchase, which is called as capital reserve. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next, so this is what investment in equity shares. So come to asset root. In asset root, so we said there are 2 types, correct? Asset
Yes,
root
sir.
means what? Total assets minus net identifiable asset. This one you have to keep in mind. So therefore, my difference in asset root we have the 2 criteria. That is, non-controlling interest is measured at fair value. What is the first model? First model, non-controlling interest is measured at fair value. Measured at what?
Fair value.
Measured at fair value. So this method, what we call it as, my difference, measured at fair value. This method of measurement, so what we call it as full goodwill. What we call?
Full goodwill.
Full goodwill, because for holding company, what they have acquired, for that also fair value of net assets is available. There's a purchase consideration itself, that's a fair value. And for NCI also fair value is given. Therefore, both are fair values. So fair values of assets minus net assets fair value, if I compare, I will get what is the goodwill in full. Correct? So
Yes, sir.
therefore, here formula is Pramod. Purchase consideration. Purchase consideration. Purchase consideration. Add. So very important. Fair value of NCI if given. Correct? So that is what the key here. If fair values are given, then only fair value model is applicable. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then add fair value of previously held shares. Held shares, this is applicable only in case of step acquisition. Applicable only in case of what?
Step acquisition.
Not in all the case. Only suppose if step acquisition model is there, only in that model this adjustment will come. Yeah. So this is what total. Out of that less. Out of that less. Less. Net identifiable asset. 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 So if I deduct, so what I get is goodwill or what?
Bargaining gain on bargain purchase.
Very good. So I will get it is a goodwill or gain on bargain purchase. Yeah. Goodwill or gain on bargain purchase, which is nothing but capital reserve. If it is negative, if it is what? Negative. This is positive. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, so fair value of previously held shares. So here write the note. Note is for what? Fair value of previously held share. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So difference in fair value on the date of acquisition and carrying amount, that means cost of acquisition, is to be treated as fair value gain and route to P&L, or write it as a transfer to P&L. Transfer to P&L. Are you understanding slowly?
Yes.
Yeah. So Pramod, it is nothing but suppose imagine I acquired this shares, previously held shares. For example, it's a step acquisition, means first I had 30% of the shares, thereafter I purchased 25% shares. Got it? First how much?
Yes, sir.
30% shares, imagine I purchased for some 10 lakhs. So thereafter, so I purchased on next 25% shares, I purchased for 25% shares for another 15 lakhs. Another 15 lakhs. Correct? So that day fair value will be there. One fair value will be there. Suppose here 30% share means, for example, let us make 3,000 shares. Correct? So that day one price might be there. So today 25 lakh divided by, let us make some 2,500 shares. So some price you will get. Can you get me what is the price? 15 lakh divided by 2,500. So which is 600 rupees. 600 rupees. That 10 lakh divided by 3,000 shares, which is 333 na?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, per share. Correct? So today when you take here 55% is consolidation. This is what your cost. This was date of acquisition and control.
Yes, sir.
So today at fair value you have to take into consideration. Suppose if you are taking, so anyway for this for this 25%, this is what purchase consideration. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So plus already 30% shares are there, that in today's price you have to take at fair value. So therefore 333 minus 600. So 266.67 whatever is there. This is what fair value gain or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct? So this 266 you have to take to P&L. So you have to take here, look out, So what the word we have used here, fair value of a previously held share. So fair value means here in our case it's a 600 rupees you have to take into or not.
Yes, sir.
That means 3,000 shares into 600, which is 18 lakh. 600. 3,000 into 600, which is 18 lakhs. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So purchase consideration today what I paid is 15 lakh for 25,000 shares, 25%. That is what here, 15 lakh. Fair value of NCI, if it is given, that I will take. Otherwise, the proportion share of net asset method, next method we will go. So that we have to check. If it is given, that also I will take. Next, balance previously held shares is 18 lakh. So this is what your total consideration paid. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the difference, what was there? You acquired for 10 lakh. Now it is worth for 18 lakh. The difference 8 lakh is increase in fair value. You have to recognize in it is a post acquisition profit. That is for that 3,000 shares. It is a after acquisition increase in fair value, which is in a revenue profit. Correct?
Yes,
Therefore,
sir.
you have to recognize that profit in P&L. So hereinafter, it has to be taken into 600 rupees fair value. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next, let us go to the part 2. Second is what NCI is measured at proportionate share of net assets. NCI is measured at proportionate share of net assets. So this is called as partial goodwill. Partial goodwill. Yeah. So because for NCI, for non-controlling interest, fair values are not available. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So here, fair value, my dear friends, if it is given, you have to take. Otherwise, suppose fair value means here, number of shares, suppose if it is given, for shares, market price is given, that market price is also number of shares held by outsiders, that's a non-controlling interest, into market price is also fair value or not? Yeah. So this is second case, measurement is at
Yes, sir.
proportionate share of net assets. Proportionate share of net assets. So here also same formula, my difference. So here also same, but here proportionate share of identifiable asset you have to take. So first to start with, sorry. First is purchase consideration. Purchase consideration. Purchase consideration. So here add, yeah. So here look out proportionate share of net assets. So therefore here fair values are not available. Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
therefore what I do, proportionate share of NCI, non-controlling interests, proportionate share of net identifiable asset. Net identifiable asset. Are you understanding? Net identifiable assets. So we will take. So this, sir, how you will compute? It is nothing but, my dear friend, formula is net identifiable assets. Net identifiable assets into NCI percentage. Into NCI percentage you will get. Got it? Then
Yes, sir.
add as it is. So fair value of previously held shares, if any. So then you will get what is the total. What is the total out of that if you deduct less net identifiable asset. Net identifiable assets. This is 100%. 100%. If I deduct, then what you get is called what? Goodwill or
Gain
gain
and bargain
on
purchase.
bargain purchase, which is capital reserve, which is minus if it is plus. Are you understanding slowly?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this formula, if you understand, my dear friend, really it will be wonderful for asset root when we go for case. So it is nothing but if a fair value of NCI is given, so purchase consideration plus fair value of NCI, I will get what is the fair value of total 100%, correct? Minus
Yes,
net
sir.
identifiable asset, I will get goodwill. So if it is NCI is not given in a fair value, then what I require to do, total asset, suppose whatever is there, out of that, if holding company is acquiring 80%, means 20% belongs to NCI, no?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So therefore, proportionate net assets, how much is there? On that 20% I will apply. That 20% is NCI. Purchase consideration is for what 80% they have paid. That means a total consideration or total minus total identifiable asset. I will get what is the goodwill or capital reserve. Got it?
Yes, sir.
That's it, my dear friends. That's it. That's it. Yeah. So this is relating to equity shares, investment in equity shares. Now, suppose if I go for investment, there's a B, number B, 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 investment in preference share of subsidiary. Investment in what? Preference shares of subsidiary.
Subs-
Preference shares of subsidiary. Correct? Huh? So here there is no root of asset, root liability, this and all. So here normally one root only. Usually it will be my difference. Cost of investment. Cost of investment or fair value. Wait. Here as a fair value or cost of investment. Or cost of investment or fair value of investment, both you write it, whatever it might be. Sir, why cost or fair value? Suppose, imagine it's a financial asset. Till the date of acquisition, investment in preference shares is nothing but it is an investment, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if it is carried at cost, suppose if it's a normally first year we have invested and at the end of the year if we are acquiring, then it's a cost of investment. That's all. Correct? Yeah. Suppose if it is
Yes,
at suppose if it's classified as a financial instrument, then at the every year end they're supposed to value the fair values or not?
Yes, sir.
They're
yes,
supposed to
sir.
value. They're supposed to give the fair value changes or not?
Yes,
So
sir.
if they have given fair value changes, means that fair value you have to take. In a book, what value is there? That book value of investments you have to take. So cost of acquisition and fair value difference, whatever is there, that in always it has to be root through P&L only. Got it? Now we have
Yes, sir.
taken. So less face value, less face value of shares. Less what?
Face value of shares.
Very good. Less face value of shares. So balance what you get is goodwill or capital reserve. So here goodwill means positive. So there is capital reserve means minus. That's what gain on bargain purchase. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Capital reserve will go and join in a form of equity. As a reserves and surplus, it will go and join. So usually here, which will come? Usually goodwill. Because look out cost of investment. For example, 150 rupees you purchased. Face value is 100. That means 50 rupees is usually goodwill or not?
Sir.
Yeah, 90% case, if it is a preference shares investment is there, it will be goodwill. Suppose if fair value, whatever increase this and all is there, then only it will be capital reserve is possible, otherwise this. Next, my dear friends. So next is C, investment in debentures. Investment in what?
Ventures.
Debentures of subsidiary. Alternatively, it can be shown as a part of 7 intercompany owings, because it is also like borrowings, no? You have invested for that company, it is a borrowing. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it can be shown here. Alternatively, it can be taken at can be shown in number 7 as intercompany owings. Intercompany borrowings. So this alone, not preferential and equity, this alone. Now here also it is as same as like investment in preference shares, my dear friends. So cost or fair value of investment of debentures less face value of debentures. So this is what you got it as goodwill or capital reserve. Are you understanding step number 6, cost of control?
Yes, sir.
Step number 6, cost of control. Yeah, so this is what cost of control. So where usually students will slip in case of consolidation.